Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today's video is just going to be my top 10 breastfeeding tips that I've learned since having my son Cole. My first tip is mainly for very new moms who have just had a baby, and that tip is to continually feed your baby even before your milk comes in. You might not realize it, but your breast is actually secreting colostrum, which gives the baby just as much nutrients as it needs in those first few days, as well as really helps build their immune system. So it's really important to continue feeding your baby the colostrum to help your milk come in, as well as to get them immune system support. My second tip is also for mothers that are in the first few days of motherhood, and that is definitely to try and feed your baby on both breasts and not just one. So my advice would be to watch a clock and put your baby on one breast, and 20 minutes later switch he or she to the other breast. This will definitely help your baby to like both of your breasts and not prefer one or the other, and so that will maintain your milk production in both breasts. My third tip is that if you're having trouble getting your baby to latch properly onto your breast, I would grab your whole breast, whichever side that you're feeding your baby on at the moment, and kind of entice your baby by rubbing the nipple on he or she's lips. This will cause him or her to want to open their mouth really big, and at that point I would sandwich the breast, kind of pressing it down and shoving the breast into your baby's mouth. You want your baby to get a good latch of not only the nipple but also the areola, and you want it to cover most of the areola as well as the nipple. When the baby just gets the nipple, it can really be painful for the mother. My fourth tip is to try different breastfeeding positions and to look into all the positions in full so that you can find the ones that you like the best. So for this tip, I brought my little guy so that we can show our friends our favorite breastfeeding positions, huh? Yeah. So for one of my favorite breastfeeding positions, I like to use the boppy. This is a boppy. So you put this around your stomach. You guys can't really see the boppy, but you put it around your stomach, and then you place your baby on top of it in the cradle position, and it helps them to be at a good level to your breast, as well as to, hi cutie, hi, are you smiling at mama? As well as to be able to maintain their latch. Our other favorite breastfeeding position is just lying down on a bed and putting your baby parallel to your breast. The bed actually supports the baby's head really well and kind of keeps them in position. But there are so many other positions to look into as well that would definitely work for you and your baby too. My fifth tip is definitely to burp your baby as much as possible after every single feeding, even if your baby doesn't look like he or she has swallowed any air or doesn't look particularly gassy. My reasoning for this is it definitely helps to prevent any additional acid reflux or spit up or even projectile vomiting. When my son was between 1 and 2 months, he definitely had a lot of spit up, and which would lead to a lot of projectile vomiting, and I learned it was because I wasn't burping him as much as I should have after every single feeding. So I would definitely recommend to burp your child for at least 5 to 10 minutes after every feeding. My sixth tip is actually a breastfeeding hold that I was taught in order to help to reduce Cole's reflux. So that position looks a little bit like this. It's kind of hard to learn, but once you have the hang of it, it works really well. And it works best if you're in a reclined position, but I'll just kind of show you the positioning sitting up with Cole right now. So you take the baby and he actually kind of sits up like this, and you put him on your breast, laying back like this and face down. That will definitely help the milk to stay down since he's in an upright position versus laying down. My seventh tip is that as your baby gets older, I would recommend to actually not switch your breasts in the middle of every feeding. I would recommend to feed on one breast for one feeding and then switch to the other breast for the next feeding. And the reason I say this is you want your breast to get completely empty after every feeding to kind of maintain your milk supply. If your baby doesn't finish one breast in their feeding, I would definitely recommend pumping the rest of your breast out to get it completely empty to maintain your milk supply. My 8th tip is to increase your water intake while you're breastfeeding, and I know it sounds kind of like a no-brainer, but it's really hard because, you know, you're running around after your kids, or you're, you know, tending to your crying infant, and it's just really hard to remember to drink more water, but it's crucially important not only for your milk supply but also for your own overall health. You'll definitely notice when you're more dehydrated and you'll feel really run down and kind of out of it, and so it's really important to drink more water than you even normally would while you're breastfeeding, as well as eating a lot of nutrient-rich foods. Your body prioritizes your baby's nutrition over your own. Definitely increase the amount of nutrient-rich foods that you're eating, as well as continuing to take your prenatal vitamins like you did when you were pregnant. My 9th tip is to continue to feed your baby from your breast even if you're sick and not feeling well. It's really important for your baby because your baby will actually get the antibodies that you have produced from the virus to help them to either not get the virus at all or to help them get it into a lesser degree. So it's really important. You might think that, oh, I shouldn't feed my baby when I'm feeling sick, but it's actually the opposite because it helps protect your baby. My 10th tip is actually a bunch of tips kind of combined into one, and that's surrounding milk storage. So any fresh breast milk can be kept in a deep freezer for up to 12 months. It can be kept in a refrigerator style freezer for up to 4 to 6 months. And it can be kept in a refrigerator for up to 8 days, and it can be kept at room temperature for up to 6 hours. But if you have already frozen the milk and have thawed it out, you cannot refreeze it, but you can keep it in a refrigerator for up to 24 hours, and you can keep it at room temperature for up to 1 hour. So those tips really help me because I did and still do pump my breast milk a lot. So it's definitely helpful to know how long you can store it at different temperatures to ensure that you don't get your baby sick. I kind of wanted to end this video with just a little bit of a fun fact that I learned about breast milk that I think everybody would think is really neat, and that is that when your baby is coming down with a sickness, those germs from his saliva will actually enter into your breast and will turn your milk to be almost back to that yellow color that it was in the beginning when it still had colostrum in it, and that's because your body actually recreates colostrum when your baby's sick to help your baby to fight infection quicker. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more.